สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนวันนี้เดี๋ยวครูส้มจะพูดเป็นภาษาอังกฤษนะคะ topic ที่จะพูดก็คือเรื่องของเหตุผลที่ทำไมคนไทยเรียนภาษาอังกฤษมาหลายปีแต่ยังใช้ภาษาอังกฤษในการสื่อสารไม่ได้โดยจะยกตัวอย่างของการเรียนตัวเองนี่แหละมาเป็นหลักเลยเพราะว่าครูส้มก็เรียนมาหลายปีก่อนที่จะพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้นี่ใช้เวลานานมากทั้งที่จริงเรียนแค่ปี2 ปีน่าจะพูดได้แล้วOkay, today I will be talking about the reasons why Thai people still struggle speaking English despite learning it for years. Also, I couldn't speak English after 2, 3, 4 years of learning. It took me much longer than that. The very first reason is from school. So in the classroom, the way we learn it is that we focus so much on grammar and memorize it. Why do we learn so much grammar? Because in the paper exam, in the paper test, they test our grammar knowledge. They test if we know or we don't. They test us if we are correct with the grammar and if we are able to identify what is wrong in a sentence. When we know so well, we try to avoid being incorrect. And that is almost impossible to not make a mistake when you speak it. Therefore, we are not confident. Therefore, we fear, we are afraid of making mistakes because we know what is correct, what is incorrect. But instead of focusing so much on grammar, writing, reading, teachers at school should prioritize speaking and interactive English. So there comes the second reason, is the teaching methods. Teachers at school mostly they teach us how to understand grammar. They teach us how to understand the core of the rules, like grammar rules, what is right or wrong, as I have mentioned. The more you can memorize does not help much when it comes to speaking in your own situation because you can't really remember exact sentences and use it in your situation. You have to be able to apply. So in order to do that, teachers should teach their kids to think and speak, to create your own sentences, teach them the structure and how they can apply that into their own situation. That really requires teachers' proficiency. There comes the third reason. So teachers' proficiency is quite important into helping their students to develop efficient English. Some teachers can't really speak or communicate in English. Like they know what is in textbook and that's how they teach their kids. Depends on the salary. If the salary does not attract teachers, so you lose good teachers and they would not be interested to work at school. And what you got at school is teacher teaching kids to memorize and that is it. You want teachers who can speak the language very fluently in order to teach kids to speak the language accordingly. Another reason is lack of practice. Once they're out of the classroom, the opportunities to use the language, to use English is really limited and it's so rare to encounter native speakers. And when they do, they are shy and embarrassed. So that's why the practice is very low, like very minimum, and that's why they just forget what they learned from class and they cannot like apply what they learn into real use in a daily life. And also it's about mindset. Sometimes the fact is there, Japan has never been colonized by Western countries or by any countries, right? And so many times that we use this as a reason why we can't speak English, but it has become more like an excuse why we can't rather than why we should and why we can. So it's not really about that anymore. The world has developed and we have all devices and modern technology that you can really develop your English without having to be colonized. You go to those countries like Vietnam or Cambodia, they speak English not because, well, part of the reason because they were colonized, but because of the educational system also because they already can. They just learn it later on. So I would really encourage Thai people to not use this as an excuse to not speak English and stay that way. Well, if English is not important to you, then it's okay. You can make a living without speaking English. But if you need it, you just have to move on from that reason why you can't, and then just see more opportunities and chances and reasons why you can and you will be able to. So this is about motivation, and if you lack motivation or you feel like there's no need or immediate need to speak the language, then you stay that way and you feel like you don't have to, then that's why you can't. You see Western foreigners, they come to Thailand as an expat. Some of them been here for 10 years. They can't speak Thai. Why? Because they don't see any immediate need. They are in the area where Thai people speak English to them, so they don't feel like they have to. And that is the same reason why some Thai can't speak English, because we don't see the benefit, so we are not interested to make it happen. And one more thing is about curriculum limitations. To follow the curriculum, and sometimes, most of the time, there are great limitations there, and teachers are limited to design their own class to foster conversational English class. So I think the people in power, like Ministry of Education, should really come to look at this and make some change about the program and curriculum in schools, so that kids can learn better and will be able to speak English better as well. So that is it for now in the video. คิดได้เท่านี้นะคะตอนนี้สำหรับเหตุผลที่ทำไมการพูดภาษาอังกฤษเป็นเรื่องที่ท้าทายมากสำหรับคนไทยนะคะคิดต่างตรงไหนเห็นด้วยไม่เห็นด้วยลองคอมเมนต์มาบอกด้วยนะคะว่าวิธีของคุณในการเรียนภาษาอังกฤษเนี่ยสุดท้ายสุดแล้วมันได้ผลคุณทำยังไงถึงได้ So I'd like to know from you, especially Thai people. I would love for you to share some tips or techniques of how you practice your English and how you see the positive result, what you do to achieve the language proficiency. So these are all the reasons why we still struggle speaking English. I'm happy to hear what you think about this. If you see any point or disagree, think differently, feel free to comment and let me know if what I have said is not wrong, why, and if you support it, let me know too. It's been almost 10 minutes, and I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.